Game theory. Game theory is the study of decision-making where multiple players or participants are involved, and the outcome of each player's decisions depends on the actions of others. It is widely used in economics, political science, psychology, and even biology to understand and predict behavior in competitive and cooperative situations. While it may sound complex, at its core, game theory is about making strategic choices that consider not only what you want but also what others want and how they might act. Imagine a simple game like chess. To win, you cannot just think about your own next move, you also have to think about what your opponent is likely to do in response. In the same way, game theory looks at how people or groups make decisions when others are also making decisions that affect the outcome. One of the most famous examples of game theory is the prisoner's dilemma. In this scenario, two people are arrested and kept in separate rooms. Each person is given the option to either betray the other or stay silent. If both stay silent, they each get a light sentence. If one betrays the other while the other stays silent, the betrayer goes free, and the silent one gets a heavy sentence. If both betray each other, they both get medium sentences. The dilemma is that while it's best for both prisoners to stay silent, the fear of betrayal makes them likely to betray each other, resulting in a worse outcome for both. This kind of situation occurs in many real-life scenarios, like in business when companies decide whether to cooperate or compete. Game theory helps us understand these dynamics and find ways to achieve the best possible outcome, even when the players are acting in their own self-interest. Game theory is divided into two main categories: cooperative and non-cooperative games. In cooperative games, players can form alliances or agreements to achieve the best outcome for everyone involved. For example, businesses might form partnerships or countries might sign treaties. Non-cooperative games are where players make decisions independently, often with competition in mind. This is more common in situations like business competition or political campaigns. A key concept in game theory is the Nash Equilibrium, named after the mathematician John Nash. The Nash Equilibrium occurs when each player in the game makes the best possible decision for themselves, considering the choices of the other players. In this state, no player has anything to gain by changing their decision, because everyone is already making the optimal choice based on the actions of others. To illustrate, let's look at an example from everyday life. Imagine two competing coffee shops on the same street. Each shop can choose to lower their prices to attract more customers, but if both lower their prices, neither will benefit much. However, if one shop lowers its prices and the other does not, the shop with lower prices will get more business. The Nash equilibrium in this case is the point where both shops choose the price that maximizes their profit, considering what the other shop is likely to do. Game theory also plays a role in auctions, voting systems, and negotiations. In an auction, for example, bidders need to decide how much to bid, knowing that others are also bidding. The highest bidder wins, but if you bid too high, you might overpay for the item. Game theory helps auction participants figure out the best bidding strategy, considering the actions of other bidders. In voting systems, game theory can show how different voting rules or strategies can lead to different outcomes. For example, in an election, people might vote not for the candidate they like the most, but for the one they think has the best chance of winning. This is called strategic voting, and it can change the outcome of the election. Negotiations, whether in business or politics, often involve game theory. Each party has their own goals and interests, And the key is to find a solution that benefits both sides while avoiding a situation where one side feels they lost out. Game theory helps negotiators think about the best possible outcome, considering the interests and possible actions of the other side. Game theory can also be applied to biological situations, like the behavior of animals. For instance, when animals compete for resources like food or mates, they often engage in behaviors that can be analyzed using game theory. In these cases, animals are not consciously strategizing, but their behaviors can still be modeled as though they were playing a game to maximize their survival or reproductive success. In recent years, game theory has been used to understand more complex systems like online social networks, where users make decisions about what content to share or interact with, considering what others are sharing or liking. Social media platforms themselves use game theory to figure out how to design algorithms that keep people engaged by showing them content they are most likely to interact with. One of the exciting things about game theory is that it can be applied to many different areas of life. Whether it is negotiating a job offer, deciding how much to bid on an online auction, or figuring out how to cooperate with others in a group project, game theory offers insights into the best strategies for making decisions in competitive situations. In conclusion, game theory helps us understand how people make decisions in a world where others' actions affect our outcomes. It shows us that thinking strategically, not just about our own choices but about how others might act, can lead to better results. Whether in business, politics, or everyday life, understanding game theory can help you make smarter decisions and anticipate the actions of others. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this explanation of game theory, do not forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you do not miss out on more content like this.